Testing 1, 2. All right, fam. Good afternoon. You all, if you're just tuning in, whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you're blessed and doing safe. We're going to go get started. Um, this is Malcolm X Day. And of course, we know our brother Malcolm X, had he lived, he would actually be 96 years old as of today. It's sad news to report, especially on a day like this where we celebrate an icon like Malcolm X and a pioneering icon and a champion of Black rights, that one of our pioneering comedians who used humor and wit to attack racial and social injustices has passed on. Comedy legend Paul Mooney died earlier today after suffering a fatal heart attack at the age of 79 years old. He died at his home in Oakland, California, according to his cousin Rudy Ely. Paul Mooney was born Paul uh, Gladly in August of 1941. He was known for being a writer. His friendship and collaboration with the legendary comedian Richard Pryor up until Pryor's death in 2005. They began working together from 1968 to 2005, and he chronicled his friendship in this memoir I have here. I'm holding up. I actually got this book. This is his memoir, Black is the New White. And I'm going to share this with y'all, but you see there those two autographs. I have a picture I took with Paul Mooney and Dick Gregory as well. I'm trying to see if I can find it. I don't have it right now. But Paul Mooney and Dick Gregory autographed my book. I snapped a picture of Paul Mooney and Dick Gregory when they were on stage. So I'm far away, but you might be able to see it if I pull it up. What's up, Donald? What's up, Derek? One of the things a lot of people don't know about Paul Mooney, see, I'm a student of the game, especially you guys know I'm in comedy myself. Paul Mooney was a writer, not only for Richard Pryor. He wrote jokes with Richard, and he wrote on television shows with Richard Pryor. And one of the shows that they wrote, was Sanford and Son. And according to Mooney, he even said that Richard Pryor and he were the first Black writers for a major television series. They wrote. Paul also wrote for Good Times. They wrote, but my favorite episode that Paul Mooney wrote for was an episode called Fred Sanford Legal Eagle. Now, that episode was of season three, episode 15, was when Lamont was faced with a traffic ticket and had to show up in court. And of course, Fred Sanford, being the inquisitive man that he is, wanted to represent Lamont. Let me just show you a clip from that episode, although I might get hit with I can't share it because I get hit with a copyright claim. I hate when YouTube does that. But let me see if I can at least show you guys who wrote that episode. He wrote this episode. I might be able to share a clip of it, but I might get hit with a copyright claim. But Paul Mooney and Gene Farmer wrote that episode. He also wrote, and he was born in Louisiana, so Paul has his roots here. Actually, he was born in Shreveport. And you see all of the credits that he has here. He played Sam Cooke in the Buddy Holly story. In fact, if you go to Daily Mail's website where they talk about Paul Mooney, they actually list him as Buddy Holly story actor Paul Mooney. The shows he's written for, he's also written for In Living Color. In Living Color was my show, writing for writing and creating the character of Homey the Clown. I believe he also created the Tom's Brothers, the two Oreo brothers. Uh, just a list of things. Of course, most people know him as Dave from his appearances on Dave Chappelle. But, this book also documents how he wrote that famous skit on SNL between Chevy Chase and Richard Pryor. Dog, tree, Negro, white, tar baby, and Richard Pryor says, "What'd you say, tar baby?" And then Richard goes, "Oh, Faye, color, redneck." It's just spear chucker, white trash. It keeps escalating. And Paul Mooney wrote that. If you read in his autobiography, in this memoir, he only wrote that with less than an hour. When he wrote this skit. And he absolutely, according to what Paul said, he hated Chevy Chase. I'm referring to Richard. He hated being around Chevy Chase, but he kept Paul around because he liked to have Paul as his black writer. He didn't like having whites putting words in his mouth. That's how Richard was. And there's some pictures here you look at. There's pictures with Paul Mooney next to Richard Pryor out on the town. Yeah. He talks about Bill Cosby in here, some things about Bill. But there's a lot in here. He talks about Flip Wilson, George Carlin a little bit, a bunch of stuff, how he got started in the business. He talks about his children. This is a very important picture. They called them the Black Pack. You can't see it here, but let me see if I can blow it up. I'm going to see if I can find it online too. But this is, y'all know who that is in there, in that picture. Of course, that's Eddie Murphy. Try to see if y'all can see it. Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, Paul Mooney, Keenan Ivory Wayans, Robert Townsend, that were all in here, the Black Pack. That's what, back in the 80s, of course, you remember there was just an explosion of black comedy with people like Robin Harris, Robert Townsend, of course, with Hollywood Shuffle. Keenan Ivory Wayans had I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, and he had his family involved, like Damon, who was an outstanding stand-up comedian, one of the best. Arsenio got started doing his talk show. So all of that started, and Paul Mooney was a part of all of that. Let's see who we got in the chat. So what I want to ask everybody, what was your favorite Paul Mooney story? This guy lived to be 79 years old, and he had a hell of a run, a hell of a career. You write for Richard Pryor, the greatest stand-up comedian that ever lived. They wrote, according to his sons, Daryl and Dwayne, and I know them. So my condolences to them as the mourn the loss of their father. Just look at the credits this man had. Okay, have pictures here of Richard and Paul together. This was for the movie Life. So they walked the red carpet. And, they had all of that stuff a few years ago going on about Paul Mooney. And I don't like mentioning any of that stuff up. That bad stuff, especially that Richard Pryor's bodyguard had stated. But the bottom line is, I see this picture of Richard Pryor and Paul Mooney together, and you can say Richard is sick. There's no way for me. I just doubted most of what Rashad Khan was saying, because I knew he was also selling a book. And they're obviously together. If someone did anything like that, I can't just see how a father would stay along with, Paul Mooney. or not just Paul Mooney, but anybody that did something to their child. That I don't get. It's hard to believe that he's actually gone. See, we got a comment here. Uh, One of my favorite comedy albums. He had a comedy album. A lot of people don't know this. Was an album called Race, uh, and I encourage you all, if you're not doing anything, if you're not a dentist, well, if you're a dentist, please do not listen to this while you are operating on someone's teeth. If you are a surgeon, please don't operate while listening to Paul Mooney's Race. If you are doing anything constructive, do not listen to Paul Mooney while doing so, because you're gonna laugh your ass off and literally fall over laughing. Uh, I You can go and listen to it on Amazon. He was nominated for a Grammy. This album or this CD is hard to find, but I actually had it, and it was mind blowing listening to that. That changed me forever. When I came up here to Baton Rouge, I just started making some CDs and comedy albums and so forth. Especially when I started getting into the game, I was listening to Richard Pryor's old albums, Red Fox, and I listened to Paul Mooney. I even listened to George Carlin. And this album, he had two albums, Race and Masterpiece. You got to listen to Race and you got to listen to Masterpiece. They're all set in the 90s, so but you still would get the humor. You still would get the humor. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can play that. I'm gonna try and play it, but I might get hit with a copyright strike. But this is Fred Sanford, Legal Eagle. This is the episode that Paul Mooney wrote.
Very well. Proceed.
Now, here's the question. What have you got against black drivers?
I will not tolerate these outbursts, and you will restrict your inquiry to the matter before the court.
Well, that's what's wrong with the court, Judge. A black man ain't got a chance down here.
I'm black.
Well, you the judge, that don't count. Listen, why don't you arrest some white drivers?
I do.
You do? Well, where are they? Look at all these niggas in here. Look around here. There's enough niggas in here.
The amen he's getting from the court, man. And that's the type of stuff Mooney would. So Mooney wrote that. They also wrote, he and Richard Pryor, they also wrote an episode for Sanford and Son. I'm trying to see if I can pull it up on the credits. It was actually called Where Fred Thought He Had a Daughter. Let me see. I know it's right here because I've seen it. All right. Sanford and Son and Sister Makes Three. Right. So they wrote that. They also wrote The Dowry. So just look at that, man. Those two have been around together for a while. Some other credits he co-wrote Richard Pryor, Live on the Sunset Strip. He wrote also Here and Now. He's credited on that. Uh, Uptown Comedy Club. I remember this show. Now, this show, they had a lot of the heavy hitters on there doing jokes and stuff. He wrote Call Me Claus for Whoopi Goldberg. That was a movie. He had his own TV series, Judge Mooney. I know he had been ill in recent years. Paul, I think, was suffering from dementia, if I'm not mistaken. That was clarified by his friends and family. Shout out to Brother Ron Hurd, because Ron, had interviews with Paul. He also spoke with Paul's family when all this stuff was going on. So the guy was a legend. Let me see if I can find. Y'all tell me some of your favorite Paul Mooney moments. We're going to honor the man.
All right, children, take your seats. Come on.
All right, this was
Teacher
funny.
Mrs. Walker won't be here today,
This
but
is
we
funny.
have a treat for you. Very special substitute teacher. So I want you all to be at your best behavior.
Okay.
Hi, children. My name is Homey D. Clown.
Yeah, Mr. Clark, it's the apple for you.
Oh, isn't that sweet? Look, children, an apple for the teacher. In other words, you trying to win my affection and become the teacher's pet, ain't you? Okay, so what y'all want to do first, children?
I don't want you to do my we put on finger paint.
Oh, y'all want the finger paint, huh? Come on. Let me show you how the man finger paints. Come
Okay.
here.
Oh,
There you go.
that's not very pretty.
Damn right it ain't. By the looks of your face, neither is your mama. Now sit down.
Mr. Homey, I want to be a fireman when I grow up.
Oh, man, that ain't nothing. I want to be a pilot when I grow up.
Now, I'm going to work for the government.
You mean like making laws?
Yeah,
Handing out government cheese?
yeah,
And signing bills and raising homie's taxes?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
once
yeah.
again, homie has to give up all the things he loved in life?
yeah.
I think so. Just get my licks in now before you sell out. I love all the fun, children, because I'm about to explode with joy. It's time for the reading lesson. Let's start with the letter A.
I know.
A is for arrested. Can anyone make a sentence with the word arrested?
Go
Go ahead.
Since you have so much a attitude, I think that homie has been arrested before.
Very good. It takes us to the letter B. B, because you got such a smart mouth, I'm going to bap you upside your damn head. That takes us to the letter C. C is for conspiracy. Can anybody tell me what conspiracy is?
Yeah, I could tell you. My dad says conspiracy is just a word that black people use as an excuse for why they always get so much
I gotta hear this
trouble.
part. Watch this. They refuse each
Brothers and sisters. See, that takes us to the letter D. And D is for your dumbass daddy. This is for you, and that's for your dumbass daddy.
That's just part of it. But yeah, that whole character came from Paul Mooney. Let's see some other stuff. Of course, we know Chappelle Show, Negro Damas. And here's
here he is, America's favorite, my favorite, Mr. Paul Mooney.
I better not show it because I'm gonna get all of these copyright claims. So.
When 13 times since I was.
But let me just say this first and foremost: any videos that I play, they're played for commentary and news alone. They're not owned by me. They're covered under the Fair Use Act of 1976. So that includes previous clips that I've played, as well as any future other clips that I'll play. But this is
you see the
CBS News.
A giant in the world of comedy has unfortunately died. Writer, actor, and comedian Paul Mooney passed away this morning at the age of 79.
Since that time, we've become old and dear friends. I'm very dear to him. He's very old to me.
He was indeed a legend. Besides performing his own comedy, Mooney became famous for writing for the legendary Richard Pryor. He got a whole new set of fans, guest starring many times on Chappelle's Show. And Mooney was also a writer on the classic hits Sanford and Son, one of my favorites, Good Times, another favorite, and In Living Color. His publicist says Mooney died after suffering a heart attack in Oakland this morning. And as you can imagine, some of the biggest names in entertainment are posting tributes. Director Ava DuVernay tweeted, Paul Mooney, a comedy giant. I recall listening to his Race album in college and how formative it was. Yeah, the jokes, but more so the freedom. He spoke freely and fearlessly about feelings and experiences others found it difficult to express. May he be truly free now. Rest assured. And actress Viola Davis tweeted this, you were both funny and poignant. So happy to have witnessed your genius live. Rest well. Pour down some laughter here. We need it. Again, comedian Paul Mooney has died at the age of 79.
Oh man, it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe that he's passed. What are some of your favorite Paul Mooney moments? I'm trying to get people to comment. You know, that's why I come here on here earlier. Of course, I only go live if it's a Sunday, Tuesday, or Thursday. Y'all know I've gone live if there is breaking news or emergency, which is why I'm here. Certainly, Mr. Mooney is somebody that's going to be well missed. You know, I wasn't going to be on here too long, but I want to know what your favorite thoughts are. I actually met Paul Mooney again back in 2012 for Essence Fest. He and Dick Gregory actually had a comedy tour that they were doing around that time. So I was privileged to actually be there and listen to him and talk to him. Well, I didn't talk to him too much. He was kind of standoffish with me when I was talking to him. I tried to talk to him, you know, shook my hand, but real arrogant, like, you know, I'm not saying anything bad against Mooney. I know he and Earthquake kind of had a little beef because Earthquake did that joke at John Witherspoon's roast about Paul, but you guys go look to YouTube and find that. But the man was a genius. He was a legend. He actually, I mean, he could make you laugh without even saying anything. Most comedians, you know, they have that look, that feel where things just flow naturally. And that's kind of how it was for Mooney. He even said himself though once that he wasn't funny, but I say otherwise. Thousands of other people, millions of other people say otherwise. You know, the guy could make you laugh. Could the stuff he talked about, like race, when he did the joke about y'all gotta look at his race album, but he did a joke about the Fly, for instance. If the Fly was black, the movie couldn't be made because you know you put a sister in the Fly, you big eyed motherfucker. You ain't throwing up on this pussy. My father and I, we would be laughing at it. My grandfather would even laugh at it because it was just so funny. I remember my granddad. We never really played anything like that in front of him, but on this ride we did play this and his race album, and we laughed all the way to home, literally with it. Yeah, he always said I'm not funny, and said it came from God, and I think it did. But you know, you worked for Richard Pryor for 40 something years. You work with and discover, and this is another thing too. A lot of people don't know about Paul Mooney, but he and Richard Pryor were the ones that discovered Robin Williams and Tim Reed and Marsha Warfield. Robin Williams was an unknown comedian back in 1976. Now they always credit or 1977 when he had the Richard Pryor show. Now they always credit Gary Marshall with discovering Robin Williams, but really it was Richard Pryor that did. You know, Richard Pryor and Paul Mooney did. And, you know, he also helped, I think he helped David Letterman. He wrote jokes with him. Thank you, Brother Donald. Yeah. He was a number of stuff that he did that he discovered Marshall Warfield. He discovered Tim Reed. If you go online and look at the old sketches with Marshall Warfield, Richard Pryor, I think the Richard Pryor show is online. You all can see it. I might get hit with a copyright complaint. I know I will because SNL, they're real sensitive about stuff that they share. So I'm not going to play that video, but the word association skit is it's classic. You got to listen to it. You got to listen to it. Oh, what's up, Black Mama? Black Mama. I ain't come here for no drama. Now, Black Mama, you out there. What's it like, Matt? I got to ask Madam Magma and Black Mama because y'all are out there in Oakland, right? Or Berkeley. Y'all are out there in Oakland. What's it like there? Because Paul Mooney lives out in Oakland. What's the mood like? I say we do a second line for Paul Mooney down here in New Orleans. We're going to have the second line band come out. We did it for DMX. We did it for Aretha. You live in Riverside. But Madam Magma, you live in Oakland. So I was just wondering what the feel was like. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking here. So Madam Magma says she didn't finish her statement, but she's in East Oakland, California. see Rosalind and Derek. Shout out to you all. Black Mama, it's good to see you back in a live stream because I rarely see you. But yeah, but this is sad. It's sad, but you know something, Paul Mooney, what makes it sadder for me, and I want everybody to consider this. The man, right now with his passing, there are no other comedy legends alive other than Bill Cosby from that era. I'm talking about the era of the 1970s and 1960s and 70s when you had the stream of black comedians come out, and in the mainstream world. Of course, Paul Mooney wasn't a mainstream comedian. A lot of people couldn't stand his choice of humor because he was quote unquote very controversial. But he's back at work. Yeah, we all there. But we all back at work. We got to go back to the plantations someday. Said you're headed out to Berkeley to his former managers. I will tape on the next live. Okay, yeah, do that. I don't know you go live. I'm gonna have to check it out, Madam Magma. I'll definitely subscribe and look forward to that. But like I was saying, is that with the exception of Bill Cosby now, there are no other comedic legends or icons from that era. We're talking about the 1960s and 70s when you had comedians like Pryor, Flip Wilson, Dick Gregory, Bill Cosby, Godfrey Cambridge. Those are only a few I could think of that came from that era, and were groundbreaking. Dick Gregory was the first black comedian to actually sit on a couch at the Tonight Show with Jack Parr. And at that point, they didn't even allow blacks to sit on the couch. And this was my conversations with Dick. He actually refused to participate on the Tonight Show, even though that would have boosted up his career, and he would have a boost in his salary. Until Jack Parr called him, because at that time Dick Gregory was the hottest comedian in the early 1960s, and Jack Parr asked Dick Gregory to come on, and he said no, because Negroes can't sit on the couch. And Jack Parr said, no, it's okay. You can come sit on the couch. And he did. Bill Cosby, we all know his story, being one of the first black comedians to perform in front of white audiences and black audiences, and humanized the black community, humanized the black experience. Richard Pryor imitating Bill Cosby early on in his career, before he had that mental breakdown in 1967 at the Latin Hotel in front of Dean Martin, saying, what the fuck am I doing up here? Jumps off stage, and he detaches from reality, and Paul Mooney I shouldn't say reality, but detaches from what mainstream white America was trying to mold him to be, and he became the legend that we know, to the point where even Bill Cosby met Richard Pryor back in Oakland a few years later and said all the Bill Cosby that was in Richard Pryor is gone. But Black is the New White was the book. I'm going to try and see if I can pull up some of my pictures that I have. If I have any, I'm pretty sure I do. see who we have. More people in the chat. Okay, I was trying to find my photographs. Next time I go live, I'm gonna definitely blast it. But meantime, let me show you a few photographs again. This was an autograph that I got from Paul Mooney and Dick Gregory earlier. Oh, I don't see that. I showed it to y'all earlier, but this was his autograph. That's his autograph and Dick Gregory's. That was his book, Black is the New White. It was a great read, especially if you want to know about what was going on with all of those greats back then in the 1960s and 70s. Again, an icon has fallen, gone but not forgotten. Paul Mooney, dead at the age of 79. He will be well missed, but you know what? The guy was a genius, like I said, and of course he transitions now with the ancestors. You all, I won't say too much further, but my condolences to his family. May he rest in peace. Him and Dick Gregory, guys like that I miss. They only come once. But you guys tell me what y'all thought, what your thoughts are. I'd like to hear your comments about Mr. Mooney. I can't leave any, I can't actually go and play any of the other clips from his stuff just because I think I'm going to get a copyright strike. But rest in peace, Paul Mooney. While I'm at it, I'm going to leave you all as a little tribute to the man Paul Mooney. Let us play a little bit of his stand-up comedy he did. This is coming from this is an excerpt from part of his Shaq Did a Fool. I think this was Shaq's all-star comedy. I guess I could play a little bit of it. We'll go ahead and close on this note. Rest in peace, Mr. Mooney.
Obama, and Obama is half African. He's half African. That's the problem. You have Kunti Kinte up in there. You don't have Toby. What goes around comes around, and it's the best. It's the best. And everybody that forgot about everybody else in there, they talk about let him bring the troops home, let him do this, and the health this and that. That man ain't been in there 2 days. And it took Bush 12 years to mess it up. Everybody didn't forget. They don't even remember Bush. They don't even know who Bush is. Bush wore everybody out. And everybody just, Master Bush, just don't let the terrorists get me, Master Bush. Oh, Master Bush. Oh, Master Bush, do whatever you want to do. Oh, Master Bush. I saw that movie with Nixon, whatever it was called. What was it called? Frosty Freeze, whatever it was called. We owe President Nixon an apology. All he did was get drunk and run his mouth. What Bush did anything he wanted to do. Let's keep it real. He did whatever he wanted to do, and nobody said nothing. And if you said something about him, you got in trouble. It was Master Bush, okay? Talk more shit than Jesse Jackson. And when you can out-talk Jesse, You can talk, and trust me, Bush can out talk it. I can't find bin Laden. I can't find him. That's because you are bin Laden. Weapons of mass destruction. I know they have them, I'm sure. Yeah, you and your daddy, because you got the receipt. And what was that vice president's name? Say it. Anytime you get a Dick and a Bush together, somebody gonna get screwed.
Rest easy, Mr. Peasy. All right, guys, this has been another edition of Gavin Reshaw Presents here on channel GBoo2786. Rest in peace, Paul Mooney. You guys be safe. I'll see you all tomorrow. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. If you have not, please like, share, and subscribe. I'll holla. Peace.